dun, dun. Okay, so I get, you know how we love nostalgia because life was just a little bit better back then. I don't know.
Sure
Call
the
me
hell
crazy.
was,
Call me crazy. So I found this I don't know. I went down on a rabbit hole where it was I was pressing something about an old commercial, right?
Wait, is this gonna be a good story?
I don't know if it is.
Because if this is a good story, I want you to tell it on the other side of the intro, not on this side.
No, I don't know if it is, but anyway, I was just thinking out loud to myself, there was a video of how, remember the old CVS's? They used to have those legs, like the egg display with pantyhose in it and stuff. I don't know if you remember all this.
Sook, I used to buy that all the time and stick the pantyhose on my head and pretend I was robbing a bank.
But anyway, I was like, oh my God, I remember the time when everything was just a little bit easier, a little bit simpler, a little bit everything, Betty.
I know. Oh my God, it was
so
good.
And Hot Wheels and good times.
Sook, I had a big wheel when I was little. I used to cruise around the neighborhood.
I had a green machine.
What was a green machine? What was
that?
My
friend had the green machine. Well, my friend Jenny V had a Hot Wheel and a green machine. She was very fancy.
Really?
Nice. And every time we went over to my cousin's house, I'd go over to Jenny's and we'd skid out on the green machine and the Hot Wheels. That was like life. These kids don't even understand what it is to hang out on a block until the lights go off.
So it's terrible. It's terrible. It's like, just call me for dinner. Remember that? Just call me in for dinner.
And it's not like we did anything. We just were. I don't know. That's why we're probably I saw this thing. We're probably the scariest generation because our parents. I don't know about you. I was a latchkey kid, so my father and mother at the age of 10 or 8 or 9, I think it was around 9 or 10, gave me a key and said, "Get home."
Was it a latchkey?
But don't get molested along the way. Don't get robbed. Don't talk
to strangers.
Burn down the house. Don't burn down the house. Whatever you do.
Right. Don't take a ride from strangers like we all do now with Uber. Right. Don't take a ride from strangers. Anyway, Sook, listen. We have speaking of nostalgia, we have an amazing show today. I mean, it's you know when. Well, I'll tell you after we roll. All right, I'll tell you who's on after we roll. You ready to start this thing?
I'm ready to start this thing.
Everybody's loading
here.
up.
Everybody's loading up.
People are loading up. Here we go. We're going to start the show in 3, 2, and 1.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the 7 of Hearts. Exactly.
What she said.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl!
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu, is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
Really?
Your intro is fantastic.
Yes, it is, Sook. I have that on a loop all day, Suki, and I just listen to Eric Roberts go. That intro is fantastic. Feel good, right? Suki, do you remember when we had Mary Lou Henner on this show a couple times? But do you remember when she was on this show and she was describing to us the PF factor and why this is
factor? Yes, and you and I were like, I blushed. I was like, what is that?
She explained the
PF
factor.
And you were like, well, yes, I do.
Mary Lou. She still has a crush on me, by the way, Sook. I don't like to brag. But anyway, listen.
She does.
Today's show, she told us how this is one of the sexiest shows she's been on. There's a PF factor that radiates off this show. Suki, today is the reason why there is a PF factor on this show. Not only because you and I are two very good-looking, handsome, and sexy people, but because we're also celebrating the 40th anniversary, Suki, of the video that just shook up the world. Of course, we're talking about
the album,
right? We're talking about Thriller, but more not only the album, which is still the best-selling album of all time, right? Over 60 million copies along the way. The video that came out, if you remember, you're right in the middle of MTV's heyday, right? The videos were coming on. People
actually watched MTV.
Everybody was watching MTV for the videos, and Michael Jackson was making this video. It was a mini movie. It was a
movie.
Right? John Landis was directing, and Vincent Price was narrating. And we were introduced to this young lady, Ola Ray.
Oh, my God.
Right?
And everybody wanted to be Ola Ray.
Sook, everybody, not the women wanted to be Ola Ray. The red-blooded American males were in love with Ola Ray. Trust me, I was a junior in high school when that came out, and I was like,
"Who's this Ola Ray?
Holy Ola Ray, Batman!" And then, I went into my grandfather's basement and I found the Playboys, and then I found out that Ola Ray was in Playboy. And she was also a Playboy Playmate of the Month for June 1980, Suki, page 22 through 24. Not that I looked, but there it was. So anyway, Ola Ray, Michael Jackson's girlfriend in the video, right? And she shot to worldwide fame from that video. So it's the 40th anniversary.
Can you believe it?
Ola's coming on in a second. She's got a new book out that talks about her, her experiences, her career. And then later on, we got the boys from Ocean's Rat Pack, Sook.
Amazing.
Suki, we have Frank
We're talking
Sinatra,
a little Sinatra. We're talking
Sammy
a little
Davis,
Dino.
And Sammy Davis Jr. We've got 3 of those guys. Imagine if it was the real 3 of them. Wow, this would be a big show then. But those guys.
We'd be making views.
Those guys are coming on, and it's going to be a fantastic show. And before we get to next week, Sook, we already had. Remember Billy Vera from Billy Vera and the Beaters?
I think I do. I don't
remember
know.
That he had the hit song. What would you do? I could do at this moment.
Yep.
So Billy Vera's coming on. He also that was big from Family Ties. It was huge in that show. And then he also sang the theme song for King of Queens. So Billy Vera he's making new music now. He's doing some covers. He's coming on, and we've got some crazy shows coming up. And also, don't forget our first ever dating game.
Yes, we're doing a little dating game with this lovely lady.
There you go. Irene Jean Santos. She is a physical fitness expert here in the New York area. And she went through a recent breakup, and she has agreed to try and find love live, Suki. No pun intended.
I don't know if it's Find Love Live, but we're
Find Love. We won't use the same name that you posted on TLC. But we're gonna find her a new partner right here on this program, Suki.
I think they need to bring up a modern version of dating game, but they really do.
Yeah, no, I know. We're gonna maybe we'll go find some old questions from the old dating
have you seen these other shows that are out there, like Married at First Sight, Married at
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. I was watching the Love is Blind thing. I'm like, Love is blind. It really is.
It's Love is insane, Suki. It's
insanity.
insane.
Like in 6 weeks, these people walk down the aisle and get married in 3 months, and then they're divorced in another 3. I mean, it's just like, I got married, I got divorced on TV, and it's like, wow.
I wonder if the producers of the show pay for the divorce lawyers too. Do they throw that in, or do you think you're on your own?
I don't know. I think it has to be thrown in because it's just kind of like these kids are like throwing away not that they're throwing away their life, because some of them do meet somebody, but boy,
it's crazy, right?
The luck of the draw.
Speaking of divorce, before we bring in Ola Ray, I just read where Gisele Bündchen just bought like a $30 million house right next to Tom Brady.
So they can co-parent.
Yeah.
I thought she bought a house in Miami that was $1 million right down the block, and it was like a little house,
something like
on
that.
The
I don't
beach,
know.
And
it's
then,
crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. You have that kind of money, just wild.
But anyway.
Are you ready for Ola Ray, Sue?
I'm ready for Ola Ray. Bring her.
We are celebrating 40 years of Thriller with the lady who lived it firsthand. And we got to listen. I saw her in some interviews, Sook. I know she kissed Michael Jackson a few times. I understand.
She's going to have to tell us all.
Oh, we got to get that out of her again. But I'm sure she'll tell us, because she says it on all the shows. So I'm not going out of school here. But here's a little bit of Ola Ray, and then we bring her on the other side. Take a look, Sook. Ladies and gentlemen, there she
How
is.
are you?
I am so good. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I love that selection of pictures you have.
let me just say, O-L-A.
Ola.
Hey.
Ola, first of all, not only do you still look as beautiful as you did back when you were in that video, but that, that video and that thing never ever, it may be 40 years old, but it's literally, when I watched I can't play the real Thriller because of copyright reasons or the song. But when you watch that, right, Suk, it's almost like it never goes out of date, thing.
I mean, it does not go out of style, out of date. It takes you back to a time. I just want us to just dive into that moment. Okay, you're at the audition. Did you even know what you were doing, what you were embarking on at all?
Well, my agent had sent me on an interview to meet with John Landis, and at the time, I really didn't even know who he was, and they didn't tell me what it was for. So I walk into the room, and John is explaining to me that he needs a girl to act out two roles, one from the 1950s and the other like a modern day girl. Sure. But her boyfriend would become a werewolf.
Oh,
And so as he is explaining these things to me, he's playing the Thriller CD. And I looked at him and I said, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I said, "Is this for Michael Jackson?" And I just started to convince him that I was the best girl for the part. I'm like, "You don't need to look no further. I got this. I have experience being around, a lot of named entertainers. I know exactly what to do, so yeah." And he told me, he said, "Okay, well, I'll talk to Michael about it." And I had a little concern because of the fact that I did Playboy. So I'd asked John about it, and he said, "Well, I'm going to talk to Michael about it." And he said, "And I'll call you in 2 weeks." So that's what happened. That's how I got the part. And after 2 weeks, he called me.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
So you know what? You were completely honest. You put everything out there.
Yes, I'm always that way.
Yeah, how could they not like it? Because it's like, you know what? You're not going to get any surprises here. There's going to be no like, who did we cast or whatever.
So
because Michael was Jehovah's Witness, so I had to make sure that they knew that he was okay at the time.
Yeah. So when so John Landis, and you didn't know it was for a Michael Jackson project at first. What's it like the first time, and where's the first time you actually meet Michael to start working on this project?
On the choreography.
Okay, well, the first time I met Michael, he had sent a limo for me, and I went to the set, and he was there shooting the Thriller dance sequence.
Right.
And so I had a front row seat. He had a director's chair with my name on the back.
Wow.
He was so sweet. And so I was able to watch him perform right in front of me, and he was such a perfectionist because he kept saying, "Okay, let's do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again." And every time they did it, they were on cue. And so that was the first night that I experienced with Michael. But the first day on the set, I had went into wardrobe. And so they had showed me a lot of different outfits that they wanted me to wear. And a lot of the outfits were like really skin tight and sexy. And I'm like, I don't think I want to wear any of these outfits. And they were like, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because, the scene is called for me to be going to a movie theater." But anyway, so Michael walks in and he sees me looking through the outfits, and he said, "Hi, it's Michael." And I looked at him.
I love how he introduced himself. "Hi, it's Michael."
Right, in case you didn't know.
But he was so cute. He had a bow tie on. It was in a little jacket. And I looked up at him and I said, "I know.
I know who you are."
Said, right. And he said, "So what are you doing?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I'm looking at these outfits that they picked out for me, but I don't like any of them.
I'm not feeling them." Yeah.
Right. And he said, "Well, what would you like?" And I said, I said the scene calls for us to be in a movie theater, and you're my boyfriend, so I would wear jeans. And he said, okay, well, let me send somebody out. And he sent someone out to go to the store, and they brought back an array of different ideas for me, and I picked my jean outfit. So that outfit that you see me in is was my choice.
let me tell you something, and that became the style, right?
Oh,
I mean, everybody had on what you had on.
The little capri pants,
the capri pants with the heels, and then like the little bodysuit with the skinny belt. I mean, and then
guys are wearing
earrings.
the jacket. Guys are wearing Michael's. I remember, right? And you remember in Beverly Hills Cop 1 when Eddie's walking down the street, those two guys, and he just starts laughing. They walk past him in the Michael Jackson jackets.
It's so funny that Eddie would wear Michael's jacket, but yeah.
Right. It's great. And Ola, listen, so it's been 40 years, right?
Yes.
When you look back on this thing, I'm sure like everything, it seems like it was yesterday, but it also seems like it's probably 100 years ago because you were so young back then. How do you guys develop this chemistry that you had, and how do you develop this little romantic relationship that you had with Michael? How does that start to kick in? Who makes the first move there?
Michael, right? He's got to be Michael.
I don't know. I think that we had a connection from the beginning.
Right.
If you notice the little clip that we have of us in rehearsal, and John Landis is trying to explain to me what he wants from me. And he's talking to Michael, and Michael is just running around acting so silly and playing with me. And so we had that chemistry from the beginning. I remember I was so nervous. I was walking too fast to the beat, and John told me, he's like, Ola, you got to slow it down a little bit. He said, because you got to let Michael flirt with you. You got to give him time to play around with you. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so we had that chemistry from the beginning. I would often look up while I was on the set, and just to look at Michael, and I would always catch him looking back at me. And we would smile. And so I think we both felt that what we were doing was very, very special.
Well, Ola, when he's looking at that, I pretty much there's no reason not to smile back in those days.
And you know what, Ola, that whole look is coming back right now. The young girls are all wearing like the oversized denim jackets and like the crop tops with the skinny jeans and the high-waisted jeans. I mean, it's crazy.
I know. I'm just so honored.
Did you save the outfit? Did you save the outfit?
Yes, of course. That was the one thing that I was able to keep.
Oh my gosh.
The outfit. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually, I know, like even in the past, even especially in the past year, there's so many like Comic-Con conventions and you're showing up at these places, people taking pictures with you and autographs, and everybody's just so excited to meet you. Let me ask you a question. And Did Michael Jackson's girlfriend in the video, was she ever given a name, or is it always just Michael Jackson's girlfriend in the Thriller video?
I guess it was just Michael Jackson's girlfriend, but and when the credits roll, you see the Ola Ray. So I was playing myself in a way. But to go back to what you were saying about being at all the conventions lately, yes, I have been interacting with a lot of my fans and reminiscing with them about Michael and everything, and it's just so important to me that I've been able to share this experience with them, being the 40th Thriller anniversary of the album.
Right.
I can remember going up to Forest Lawn, is where Michael's body lay rest, and every year his fans come together and they form a circle, and one by one they will enter the circle and they will talk about Michael and the experiences that they had with him, and how he may have inspired them, or what he did to save their lives or whatever. And it's just so touching for me to be able to sit and share this experience with them. And so I'm really happy that I can be a part of that celebration with the fans, for the 40th.
Ola, it was like you were on the rocket ship with him, right? Like nobody knew what Thriller would be, but like you knew him just before that rocket ship started to take off, like before, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael.
I mean, every song on that album was a hit. I mean, like, Jesus Lord. I mean, we all sang. We knew that album front to back.
Yeah. Was PYT on that album?
No,
PYT
PYT is off the wall. No.
Oh, right.
And you know what? It's so funny because Michael used to say to me, he would say, you're Billie Jean. And I would look at him and say, no, baby. I'm a PYT. And it's so funny that he put that song with me in our rehearsals.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I noticed that's your like your handle on Instagram.
That's my theme
too, right?
song.
Yeah.
That's your song, PYT.
And I and all of my Instagrams or whatever, everything is Ola Ray PYT.
I love that.
I want to love you, PYT.
But how many people can say that they had that conversation with Michael Jackson and that's why I'm PYT? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, how many people can own that? Nobody.
And the fact that I had him all to myself singing and serenading me, you know, I mean, how many people can say that? That was the best experience I've ever had in my life, to be able to walk and have him sing alongside of me, because I'm one of Michael's biggest fans as well. I listed him in the Playboy, in my Playboy issue, as one of my favorite entertainers of all time.
Wow.
So, you know, I think John Lennon kind of saw that maybe and knew that going in.
All right, Ola, I'm gonna ask Suki a trivia question about your life for a second.
Okay.
Let's see if she knows.
Okay.
Suk, so Ola, just confirm this. Thriller wasn't the first music video you were in, correct?
No.
Okay, Suki. So Ola was in a music video before, around 1980, about 3 years before the Thriller video, for what very popular George Benson song, Suki? George Benson.
Another song from Quincy.
Okay. George Benson. I don't know why I have this song, but it's a Stevie Wonder song. Let's get serious and fall in love. Let's get serious. That's what came to me, but that's not it.
It was Just Give Me the Night.
Give Me the Night.
Yeah.
And we're riding down Sunset Boulevard in a drop top Bentley. I mean, I had so much fun working with George Benson. Yeah, but he was the first video that I shot, you know.
By the way, also the first guy to sing I Believe the Children Are Our Future.
Oh, is he?
Yep. And then Whitney.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you know that Quincy did, you know, Give Me the Night. He probably, you know, worked with him with that as well. I didn't know that though.
Yeah. George Benson sang it before Whitney did. And, his version is fantastic.
I didn't know that.
So
look that up.
Ola,
it's all Whitney for me.
It's all, no, he's got a great version of that song. Great version. Ola, so you skyrocket to fame, right? From this experience. Were
you dating him? Were you dating him out of curiosity?
Did you have a lengthy dating experience with Michael?
We had our intimate moments.
Okay.
You know, right before we were going to wrap, Michael decided to invite me into his trailer.
And go ahead, Ola. Go ahead.
And there we sat down and we talked about, you know, how much of a great time we've had spending, you know, together and putting the video together and then, you know, so we had our little second kiss.
You were two young kids, yes.
We had our little second kiss in the trailer. Right. But then there was a conversation that we had about where we could take it, the relationship further. And there were a couple of secrets that I don't want to talk about right now. It's in my book, but the reason why we couldn't continue our relationship, which was really kind of sad, you know, but but it's not like that. It's not like we didn't want it. Yeah. We definitely wanted it. But I didn't want it like that. You know, I wanted to be involved in a relationship. I wasn't going to just, you know,
hang.
Just, you know, in the middle of the emotion of it.
Yes.
You got to read the book.
And you mentioned the book, so here it is, The Thrill of It Look at you, just gorgeous as ever. And I mean, you still look like that young girl in the video
legs,
in that
Ola.
shot.
Look at those legs.
Thank you so much. Yeah, in the book, I give a day-by-day play of, everything that happened with me and Michael, for the 2 weeks that we spent together.
Wow. I love it. And Ola, the skyrocketing fame, was it everything that you thought it would be once you became this world-renowned person, actress, model? Was it everything that it was cracked up to be? I know you went through your highs, went through your lows. We don't have to get into all of that stuff, but was it everything you had hoped it would be until things started to kind of take a downward spiral for you for a minute?
Okay, well, I started in the entertainment industry at the age of 15 in Japan.
Wow.
So I started over there singing, modeling, and dancing. And then once I got back to the United States, I did the Playboy, and then I did commercials for milk, legs,
legs.
IBM, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I worked with people like Ron Howard, Henry Winkler. I was the spokesperson for Classy Curl for Johnson & Johnson products. I worked with Jack Scalia, Tom Berenger, and Fear City. So I've done a lot of work, and yes, my life was going great. And then I get the job of a lifetime. I thought, working with Michael, and so but after that, things did a drastic change for me because I just don't think that I was prepared for everything that came my way, and I didn't have anyone in my ear telling me, okay, Ola, you're getting ready to have house darkers.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to have groupies. You're getting ready to have people come over with drugs. You're getting ready to have, go through this or go through that. Yeah. And so I talk about all what happened to me in my book. And I talk about it because I wanted to share my stories because I felt like I needed to heal. But as I was writing, I thought to myself, it's like, okay, well, you're writing about what has happened to you, but what can you say or write to help others? And so I started thinking when I'm writing about the drug experience, I'm thinking of the parents, and I'm like letting them know, it's like if you have a loved one or someone that you suspect is using, these might be the things you want to look out for. And what you need to know is that the sooner you can help them with this situation, the better, because you don't want a chemical imbalance to occur. So I'm talking to everyone from a standpoint of what knowledge I've learned, because I went to rehab for 9 months. And so I talk about that. And then when I talk about my experience with domestic violence and how I was beaten and somebody left me in their basement for a couple of months. And so anyway, when I talk about that experience, I also went to an MD who explained to me what a perpetrator would be like, someone, that would do that to a woman or whatever. And so he gave me an outline of things to watch out for and this and that, with them being controlling, like in the beginning of a relationship or whatever, and just certain things to look out for. So when I talk about my situation, with the domestic violence, I also give an outline so I can help others. And then when I talk about my attempted suicide, that was another thing that I went through, because of all that I was experiencing and going through, with the royalties or whatever. It's just a whole lot. But anyway, I talk about my depression and how I kind of ended up where I went, but how a doctor helped save my life. And just, once I went to the hospital, she told me I wasn't going anywhere until I sit and explain to her and tell her exactly why I thought that I shouldn't be alive anymore. Wow. And so a doctor saved my life. And so I just think that it's really important that anyone that's going through depression or thinking of suicide right now, we have the number 988 out there for everybody, so they can call in case they need someone to talk to, because I think the most important thing is to talk to somebody about whatever issue you're going through. And for me, my faith got me through everything that I was going through, because it was like every time I found myself in a situation, I always knew in the back of my mind that I would get through it and because of my faith. And so just in believing in God and through his grace, I'm able to still be here standing to tell my story.
I love it. I love it.
And so if I can help anybody out there, that's what I want to do.
We're talking go ahead, Ola. No, we're talking with Ola Ray. She's got the book out, The Thrill of It All. Of course, Michael Jackson's girlfriend, because we never gave her a name in the Thriller video. And she has just it's 40 years already. And Ola, listen, I want to leave us off on a fun note. So, obviously I couldn't play the actual Thriller song, right, because of all copyrights and whatnot. There are thousands of Thriller covers that people have done on the internet. So I picked out 3 for you, and I have about 20 seconds of each one, and I want you to judge them
pick the winner.
for us. I want you to pick which one you like the best.
Okay.
Right? So here's what we're going to do. So they're all kind of different, different
genres,
version, different genre. So here's the first one. This is actually from a group called First to 11. They were on the show before. I saw they did a Thriller cover. Take a look. It's about 20 seconds. You tell me what you think.
All through the night, I'll save you from the terror on your screen. I'll make you see, 'cause this is Thriller night. Girl, I can show you more than ever could ever try.
Woo! You know what? I really like those rock versions of Thriller.
Yeah. Not
oh
bad,
my God.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, now here's the next one. Here's one in a cappella that these folks did digitally online. Take a look at this one.
But terror takes us out before you make it. Yeah. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. 'Cause this is Thriller night. And no one's gonna see come from the beast that's about to strike. You know it's Thriller.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was so beautiful.
That's pretty good, right?
You're getting some really good ones now, Scotty.
I like that.
Everybody's talented in these.
Here's the last one. This is a girl who's actually dressed like you in the video. And her dancing especially caught me here in the video. Take a look. Wow.
'Cause this is Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's Thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight.
Woo!
They can't. What was the dance?
Dung, 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 dung.
You know what? They're all so
good.
That make me choose.
Yeah,
well, I agree.
You know, I appreciate all of them. I really like the girl imitating me. That was just too cool. I like that, and then I like the guy singing it a cappella. I mean, you just that's so beautiful without the music. And then I like the guys, the rock ramming
version.
It up with that rock sound. So please don't.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, believe me, there's 1,000 more online just like it. Anyway, listen. So the name of the book is The Thrill of It All. And it's so now it's out already or it's coming out?
No, it's out.
The book is out. Okay. So, and you can buy it wherever books are sold, online, in stores. And I mean, God, for any Michael Jackson fans and Ola Ray fans, this is a must-have for the holidays coming up. And I just love.
Thank you. I just want to say, even though I talk about everything that I've went through, I just want to let everybody know, just through the grace of God, I'm still standing here because, I could have ended up, like Whitney or Michael or Amy Winehouse or whatever, but my life was spared, and I have so much joy and peace and happiness in my life right now. And, I'm just so happy, and I'm just hoping that if I could share any of these stories that would help you guys to get back to where you want to be with your life, then you need to read it.
I love it. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Michael, they got to give you a name, Ola. We got to get a name for this
Michael's girl. I think she doesn't mind being Michael's girl.
I mean, you don't like Ola?
Oh no, I mean in the video, we never had a
Right.
never had a name.
I think it's Sola in
Well,
the video as well.
Yeah, in the trailer it says Ola Ray. It says,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's just so they went with your name in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so
Ola, I just want to say your legs rival Tina Turner's. I mean, your legs are like,
Oh,
oh
well,
my
thank you
God.
so much. I mean, that's like the one thing I have left that
Wow,
I
look at
can
those
like
legs.
really kind of show off nowadays, since I'm getting a little older now. It's like, I have to cover up most of my body, but my legs I can still show a little bit
not
of.
bad,
Those
not
legs are
bad.
something else.
Thank you.
Ola, thank you
Gorgeous.
so much. Listen, you'll come back when we're all celebrating the 75th anniversary. And
Sure.
hopefully we'll be able to, we'll be in our old age by then. We won't be able to work
Yes.
the technology.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Ola,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed my time on your show.
Thank you,
Absolute
Miss
pleasure,
Ola Ray.
Take care, Ola. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye. You too.
Bye-bye. Oh boy. Souk, that's
Listen,
history right there. She's history.
I know, but she also like grew up at a time that was so like, it was like she was on like I said, a rocket ship to fame.
Absolutely.
And back then, like she said, she had nobody to guide them and help them. And now there are people on every level ready to jump on artist, development, creation.
Oh, I know.
Back then, they had nobody. They were just like,
Yeah, and like she said, there were people who were showing up at her house, and hey, they're bringing drugs with them, and this and that, and it's it's hard.
Scary.
How do you not get caught up in all that stuff?
Scary.
But here she is, clean and green on the other side, doing great,
and inspiring others to live a better life and just to hold on. And if she can make it through, you can too. And she's got solid advice for parents, like she said, things to look out for. Just great. I'm so happy that she was able to take her pain and turn it into power.
Absolutely
beautiful.
Souk, are you ready to go back even further in time to another era of life?
Do-ah, do-ah, ooh-ah, ooh-ah, ooh. Now, are we going that far back?
How many times have I sang, yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew.
Too many.
When I bit off
more than I could chew.
Souk, Tony Ocean is a guy. He's a guy, and he's got Ocean's Rat Pack. They are an act out of Chicago. They're taking the world by storm, and you got these three guys. And for now, we're just going to call them.
Guys.
We got three guys: Sammy Davis Jr.
Love it.
We got Frank Sinatra.
Love it.
And Dean Martin.
Take
a look, and we're bringing them in on the other side. Suki, take a look at this.
Ocean's Rat Pack. A tribute evening featuring the music of these legendary performers. Tony Ocean sings Dean Martin.
Like a fellow once said, I'm not a kick of that.
Bill Saratella sings Frank Sinatra.
That's life. That's life, and I can't deny it.
And Elliot Wimbush sings Sammy Davis Jr.
Beat mine, baby, down and down and down I go. Round and round and round I go.
Let's do a song. Here we go. Two in love can make it. Break my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Oh, away we go. That's why the lady is a tramp. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm Dean. That's Frank. You better check your right eye. Be a lady.
Like the man said, one more time.
One more time, all right. Chicago, that's our hometown.
Luck be a lady tonight. What's up, fellas?
Guys, how you doing?
We're gonna get close here.
Yeah. Get together. Get close. Get together.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Hello. How are you?
Suki Scott, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm Tony Ocean. This is Bill Saratella. He plays for Frank, and then Elliot Wimbush plays Sammy Davis.
Tony, Bill, and Elliot. All right, listen, before we even talk, Elliot, I'm gonna need to hear a little Candyman before we get started.
That's his favorite song.
Candyman.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The Candyman.
Woo!
Oh, the Candyman can.
Come on, baby, one more.
Said the Candyman can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
I love it, man. I could listen to guys like you all day. So listen, guys, you got together. How long has it been since the three of you have been together, and what was it that brought the three of you together?
Well, we had a show originally at another group of gentlemen, and we had a play downtown in Chicago that ran 8 years. That was called "The Pack Is Back," and it was a story at Piper's Alley. It was a movie theater in the area, the theater area in Chicago, and it ran for 8 years. And then we took it all around the country and played what we did. And then things changed and people moved around. We found these gentlemen here that we've been together now for the last 5 years.
Wow.
So we both had the same mutual respect for music, and we loved Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr.
Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
In our show, we're not trying to look like them. All we're trying to do is kind of bring
I'm
people,
too tall.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
yeah.
and try to bring people back in a time where they can have a little fun and remember when times were just a little bit more easygoing, if you know what I mean.
So when you start your show, is it like it's like, is it the Las Vegas Strip? Is it like where do you take us in your show? Like, where does it
Well,
start?
we're trying to take you back to 1966, 67 during the Sands Hotel. Well, that was their big moment. And the first couple of years that they did that. And the only reason why they originally got together, the original Rat Pack, was because they were filming the movie Ocean's 11. So they figured, let's film at night. Let's film during the day, and then let's play some shows and sing at night. Yeah. And that's what they did. So the show kind of recreates that era in time. So we try to keep it with the camaraderie that they had so much fun with. And that's what's important, the music and the camaraderie, to show people how much love that Frank, Dean, and Sammy had
for each other.
Together.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And it's funny because we just had a couple of weeks ago, we had a gentleman from the New York Post, Michael Starr, who just wrote a book on Don Rickles, like a biography on Don Rickles, and I mean, those guys, Rickles was such good friends with those guys,
right?
And all the goofing around that Rickles and Sinatra would appear on the Tonight Show. Rickles would show up because he was shooting, right? He was shooting his show next door, and they would just it was just a constant goofing on each other.
Yeah,
and it was such a great time to just witness those guys.
Rickles was a great guy too, because the Rat Pack opened for Rickles at the Westchester Broadway Theater in New York.
Oh my God!
Along with Pat Cooper. So another great
Pat Cooper,
the great Pat Cooper. Yeah. So
and you worked with Rickles, didn't you?
Yeah, Rickles. Yeah. So
every time I think of Pat Cooper, I think when he used to appear on Howard Stern all the time. He was a great guest on Stern, and Howard would say something about Pat's family, and Pat would just go, "Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that?" And it's such a
and he seems like he's angry all the time.
Always angry. Right. It was so great. So now, which one of you? I was reading. One of you guys was on Star Search, right?
That was me. Yeah.
You were on Ed McMahon's
96. Yeah.
With Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. You're correct, sir.
Wow.
You're correct, sir. That was before the American Idol, before the the Voice.
And did that guy Sam win? Is that the guy that
Sam
everybody
Harris?
had? Sam Harris.
Is that Sam Harris's year?
Sam Harris when he sang Over the
Rainbow.
Over the Rainbow.
Yeah.
And
with the bow tie and
the tuxedo. Who else came from that year? I think Sawyer Brown, the country band.
Sawyer Brown.
Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sinbad was the comic.
Yes.
Sinbad came out of that year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sinbad, one of our first guests on this show.
Yeah, one of our first guests. Yep.
But I remember Sam Harris was on for like 20 weeks.
Right.
And every week, my mother would, we got us, and he sang Over the Rainbow every week. And he sang, right? He sang with that.
His rendition of Over the Rainbow is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, that's wow.
We should get him on the show too one time.
Star Search. Unbelievable.
Where the hell is Sam Harris?
Well, listen, Tony Ocean, I'm going to need a little Dean, but give me a little something. Volare.
I'm going to give you a little Dean Martin. Hi, everybody. Oh, welcome to the show. Let's sing a little song. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling. When you sing Vita Bella, Vita Bella, it's a play, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. Anyway, that's amore there. I like that.
I love it. I love it. All right, and listen, my other favorite go-to is a little That's Life, Frank. What can you do for me?
Francis?
Oh, a little. That's life.
That's live.
That's what all the people say. Woo! You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
That's life.
And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. Yeah, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around.
Yeah! Take me through the chorus.
Well, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. We've been up and down and over and out. And we know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life.
Oh, tell him.
That's life. Oh, I love that.
Amazing.
Little fun.
Oh, man.
It's important, guys, to let know that these act that we're trying to come out there, just trying to keep that memory alive, because they were very, very close friends, and which is very important. Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis. Peter Lawford was there, obviously, because of the connection he had with Frank Sinatra and the Kennedy connection. And we know that. Joey Bishop wrote a lot of the jokes
That's right.
that they did live on stage, and it was a phenomenon that will never be repeated again. They tried in '88 again, but they brought in Liza after Dean Martin backed off on the tour.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just so much fun to be able to do that. And
the music.
Yeah.
I mean, people connect with the music and they have such a good time, and they're like, oh, this reminds me of this and this reminds me of that. And, and it's just fantastic.
And it's nice to see the younger kids,
Right,
the
a new
younger kids
generation,
that are actually like the music.
Yeah,
So that's something I really
Yeah. And listen, we were talking to Ola Ray, how Thriller it'll never go out of style.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys and this music will never
go out. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I was madly crushing on Ola Ray back in the day. I'm just saying.
Who was it, right?
Elliot, I'm telling you, man.
Don't worry, honey. It's okay.
It's okay.
Everybody, I think we all had this poster, Elliot.
There you go. Right next to
Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
And Adrian Barbeau. I had him all there.
You had Adrian Barbeau. You sound like Scott.
Well, listen.
Yeah, Carol. Yeah.
You know what's great when we have like an Adrian Barbeau on the show who was on, right? And all those like the Lonnie Andersons of the world. I love pulling up their posters that I had on my wall. And you know what? Listen, they're all in their 60s and 70s now. And it still makes them feel good to know that they were sex symbols back in the day.
And you know what? If you look at them, some of them still look beautiful.
They look amazing.
Right? I mean, look, Raquel Welch still looks beautiful.
Raquel Welch, Cheryl Ladd, all of those women. I mean,
Cheryl Ladd.
Cheryl Ladd's on Dancing with the Stars
Dancing
right now.
with the Stars.
Right, yeah, she looks amazing.
You remember Susan St. James?
Susan St. James.
With the raspy voice.
Yeah.
And also I see who else? Morgan Fairchild. There was a picture of
Morgan
Fairchild.
Fairchild. There you go. Sure.
She was in Falcon's Crest, right?
Falcon's
Crest.
Yes, she was. Nighttime soaps. Yeah.
Dynasty, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing.
Yeah, right.
Now, do you guys tour the country? Do you stay mostly Chicago? I mean, I could see you guys down in Florida playing in those places all
week.
week.
We first started, when the original Rat Pack, we were out a lot. And then, of course, COVID kind of derailed a lot of stuff. And just working more and more, We've been to St. Louis already. We've been to Florida. We've been to certain spots. We're trying to get
Arizona
more out.
last time.
Arizona, we do that every year. So we're out there a lot, keeping it rolling, and we're trying to. But when COVID came, it just kind of knocked everything out.
Yeah,
it really did. Some people are still, some of these places, the theaters are kind of leery because they don't know. They want to book the acts, but sometimes you wonder if people are actually going to show up because some people are still.
I think everybody has just turned the page now. It's just
I
like
would think so.
I literally think everybody has turned the page, and they're
I'm
like,
hoping to 4 or 5 pages. Absolutely.
yeah, I really think they have.
Absolutely.
I mean, you come here to New York, and it's just like, I don't even know. Everyone's like, I have a slight case of COVID.
The last time we were in New York, I remember myself. That was 2017. We did the St. Gennaro Festival.
Oh, the St. Gennaro Fest.
Very small now compared to when it was. Years.
Absolutely. Now, when you guys are on stage, and not the singing, but just the BSing comedic, chemistry
Acting,
stuff that you guys do, the friendship stuff that those three had. Do you take actual jokes that or dialogue that they had with each other on stage, or you're making up all new stuff?
Well, we do a combination, actually. Yeah. So we do some of the classic stuff that they did. And then, the joy of live performance is that you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. So, you're always paying attention so that you can riff on something that happens. Yeah. So we do a little combination of both, enough so it's familiar to you.
Happy, right? And there is a script that we kind of follow, because if you look at when Sammy did his part of the show, he always talks about the movie or the producer or the director. And then Frank would talk about, and Dean always had a comedy. He was more the comic monologue, was more than he did singing when they were actually together. So we try to get a little bit of everything. And of course, Dean played that he was a drunk, but of course we know that he wasn't a drunk.
Right.
He drank just like everybody else, but I'm talking about a TV network would give him this much money to have his own show if he was having that problem.
Oh, right.
But Dean Martin went downhill after, unfortunately, when his son died. And the airplane crash on Christmas Day. That's when Dean just went down the hill.
Insane.
What is the one thing that you think that time, that camaraderie that you've learned playing these men that you think is missing now? Like, you never see like a group, maybe like when Ocean's 13 came back out, you saw like Brad Pitt with, Clooney. And Clooney was kind of like the Sinatra-esque character, I felt, but you don't see that kind of like male camaraderie where these huge players controlled the scene. They really controlled so much, didn't they?
No, right. Well, even in Ocean's 11 or 12 and 13, or however many there were, those were all scripted things, But when these three guys were on stage, what you saw was how they actually related to each other in a virtually non-scripted sort of way, and their relationships with each other, They
really loved each other, and they needed each
other. They loved each other.
Right.
They could rib each other. They could zing each other,
And that's what we're missing in this world now. You can't zing anybody anymore.
No, you can't.
We like singing each other.
I mean, which is really sad. It really is, because it's changed everything. Not only music, movies, TV shows. So, but we just try to just to show that they really were brothers and they had a great time together,
And they were all so different, right? They were all just so different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you put them together, and that's like, of course, the most out of the three, Mr. Entertainment, of course, was Sammy Davis Jr.
Right,
impersonator, musician. I mean,
dancer.
He was just fantastic, and then of course Frank was Frank when he
was Frank.
Whatever he said. Oh, okay, Frank.
He was the chairman of the board.
Yeah. What's the letters coming in? Yeah. So he had to keep doing what he was doing.
Do you guys have a favorite song that?
That you guys do together. I've seen
try something here. Let's with just a little musical background.
You want to do that?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
can you hear that? I don't know.
Hold on.
What happened?
Live. All right, here we go.
I'll put them up full, Scott.
They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt, because you have a very unladylike way of running out. Dean Martin.
You're on the stage with me. All the pickings have been lush. And so before the evening is over, you must give me the brush. Oh, let the leader do this one.
You might forget your manners. You might refuse to stay. And so the best that I can do is pray.
Are you ready, boys?
This is heavy choreography right here.
All right.
Luck
Be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Hey, luck be a lady tonight.
You tell him, Frank.
Luck, let a gentleman see how nice a dame you can be.
Oh, tell him, Smokey.
'Cause I've seen the way you've treated other cats you've been with. But Suki, be a lady with me.
Oh, I like that one.
You like that one?
Oh, tell him now.
A lady doesn't leave her escort.
Oh no, that's true.
It isn't fair.
Oh no.
And it's not nice.
Oh no. A lady doesn't wander all over the room. Oh, blow on some other guy's dice. Tell them, boys.
So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of our sight. Stick with us, baby. We're the guys that you came in with. Hey, luck, be a lady.
Da, 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 da.
Luck, be a lady.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Luck, be a lady.
Oh, nice lady. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you guys. What a treat.
Oh,
what
man.
a treat.
I remember being in Guys and Dolls in summer camp, and I had to
Oh
sing,
my
sit
God.
down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Were you Nathan? Who are you?
I know I played a cop. I wasn't even like one of the good parts. I just
okay, all
wasn't,
right.
you know, I wasn't as outgoing back in those days.
Okay, well,
You're making up for it now.
Yeah, now you're doing your own show. What is that for?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, right.
That's great, guys. That was really very good. I love it.
Thank you
I love that whole period of time. I love Sinatra. I love listening to Sammy and Dean Martin. Everybody, as soon as you say Dean Martin, you think that's Amore, right?
Yeah, Volare.
And Volare.
And Volare, Kick in the Head, which
Yeah.
actually
Kick in the head. I love Kick in the Head.
Me too. What's story a little funny about that? You sing in the actual original Ocean's 11. He sings the song "Ain't That a Kick in the Head," but actually they couldn't play it on the radio, or they couldn't play it because of the phrase.
The king size bed.
We picked out a king size bed.
Oh my
no
gosh.
good,
In
huh?
the 50s, they wouldn't let you play it. It
Oh.
wasn't until the 70s and the 80s when they started showing up in mob movies or commercials, the song
Yeah.
"Kick in the Head," where
Yeah.
people started learning more about it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so it really wasn't a popular song for Dean Martin when it came out.
I love A Mambo too. A Mambo.
Right, Mambo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Italiano.
one, too. Hey, Mambo, right.
Yeah.
Rosie Clooney did that one too.
Rosie
Yeah.
Clooney did
Yeah,
that one
great,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And listen, also Dean Martin, my dad familiarized me with him because he always watched those Dean Martin roasts.
Oh, yeah.
He had the VHS tapes.
Scott Susan, imagine the Dean Martin roast now on
Oh,
time.
no,
God,
we talked
no.
about that the other day. You
Yeah,
couldn't,
no.
you can't air any
Well,
of
they
it.
did have they do have the one not recently on MTV with Jeff Ross and them.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they do Comedy
watch
Central.
those,
Comedy
those
Central,
are
Comedy
brutal.
Central roast, yeah.
Those are brutal. They
But that's
really
cable
rip.
though. It's not broadcast.
No, but I
television.
think
it's cable. It's cable.
Yeah, but I think they disrespect the people that are on there, and are really hurtful. If you see, like, you watch the one Betty White, they just destroyed
Oh
this.
my God!
She's an icon, Betty White. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much different than when back in the
A little
other
meaner.
days.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little
listen,
bit meaner.
those guys threw out all the racial slur, but they did it in like just such a fun way because they were all buddies.
Yeah.
You know, right? If Sammy was sitting there would be a black joke or an Irish joke or a drunk. Right. Foster Brooks was always, he pretended.
Foster Brooks,
all
one of the
time.
funniest.
But see, the thing about it then is when somebody threw one at someone, you know, the other guy was always in on it. The audience knew that they were in on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was no big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this classic line from the show, and Sammy, he'll say, "I'll give him the hat when he's going to do Mr. Bojangles." He'll look to me and he'll go, "Thank you, Frank." I go, "No, I'm Dean. That's Frank." And he goes, "Well, you guys all look alike to me." And the audience just goes up for grabs. It's a funny joke, you know what I mean? And you can use that now, and nobody's going to get offended with it.
Yeah.
Right. It's unbelievable. Listen, you guys want, before we go, you want to do, is there one more we could do a little bit of, a little encore to take us out? What do you like?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Go
My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of people too. People who smile at you.
And each time I roam, Chicago is calling me home.
Chicago is.
And they call collect. I don't know what that is.
It makes me jump like a clown. It's my kind of town. Chicago, that's my kind of town.
Wow.
Chicago, baby.
I love it. Some of our viewers who are watching us live, they're like, I'd love to see you guys live. Where are you going to be soon? Anywhere?
Yeah.
You guys out there?
Stuff coming, but in nothing. We're going to be in the Chicagoland area. We'll be in Champaign, Illinois in December.
Okay, we have people in Champaign.
Back the Blue fundraiser we're doing. We do Chicago Fest West coming up in March of 2023. So
Mesa,
you can check out the website Oceans Rat Pack, and it'll give you all the dates and information, and even how to book the band as well.
Facebook,
oh wow!
Facebook too, sure.
I love it. I think my next daughter that gets bas mitzvah, I'm going to have you guys come and perform.
Hey, we do the bas mitzvah. Hey, the occasional bris, right? The bris,
that's right.
The bris. I take the lead on those.
I know you do, Sammy.
Goyam gone.
I love it. Listen, you guys, you got to cruise around the Florida area. You guys I'm telling you, you'll make a fortune, fellas. A fortune.
Be very cool out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, listen, thank you
for having us on, Scott.
Thank you so much for entertaining us.
And remember the great words of Dean Martin. Keep those cards and letters coming in. We love you.
And it's oceansratpack.com.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Please come back again and, anytime you need to promote.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much.
God bless.
Take care. All right.
Suki, I love that. I love it.
Great. And you know what? That's just that was a good way to end the week. It was a good way to end the week.
My kind. Yes, my man.
Oceansratpack.com, ladies and gentlemen, for all the information.
Yes, you guys
regarding
gotta
where they'll
go
be
check it
touring
out.
and just
Everybody loving the show
And
today.
requests.
Ola Ray, Ocean's Rat Pack, Suk.
Great
Just
show,
to
babe.
remind everybody, we'll be back next week. Suki, we still need 2 more bachelors for Irene Jean Santos.
Are you sure Will Presty won't do it for us?
Will Presty he has said he will absolutely, and I think she would love Will Presty.
I think they have a
because,
lot in common.
they're around the same age. Will's a funny guy.
Funny, handsome.
She loves traveling and having fun. But I'll try him again, but he won't do it. He won't do it. I was thinking of putting up a post just to grab, 2 guys, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Anyway, Suk, love you. Great show today. Go enjoy the rest of this beautiful
Bye,
day.
guys.
What can I play to take us out? I give a little of this. Bye, everybody. We love you.
Bye.
Share the show, people. Share the show with your friends. We love you guys. Bye-bye.
All through the night, I'll save you from the terror on your screen. I'll make you see, 'cause this is the night. Girl, I can show you more than ever could ever try.
But terror takes us out before you make it. Yeah. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. 'Cause this is thriller night. And no one's gonna save you from the beast that's about to strike. You know it's thriller.
'Cause this is thriller night. And no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight.
Suki and Scott Show, we are feeling good today. Multi-Emmy Award-winning co-hosts Sukanya Krishnan and Scott Stanford captivate viewers with their infectious personalities.
Everybody go hotel, motel. What you gonna do today?
Say what?
And unmatched chemistry.
Irish accent.
Suki, this is a Belgian accent. Don't you know your Belgian accent?
I do not. My clock is ticking. It's not like ticking like tick. It's ticking like this.
It's like, woo, it's getting cold in here.
Suki and Scott are hanging out with celebrities.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
You guys are talented amongst your own selves.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
We'll be right back.
Elite comedians.
Suki and Scott and Wayne.
Got a big heart, Scott.
And entertainers from all 4 corners of the world. Suki and Scott share moments that make you think.
I just ate 2 grapefruits, and nothing sexual about what happened here, I gotta tell you.
Uplifting stories that inspire.
No matter how hard life gets or what you go through, you can always make it through.
And they'll make you smile.
Humpback.
Now more than ever, the world needs laughter.
You just slip out the back, Jack.
I don't know. It would be so fun to see your face at my door.
Suki and Scott are ready. Let's laugh together. The Suki and Scott Show.
Where happiness lives.
Do I give a thumbs up?
Go.
Can we swear on here? Is this like a? Is this
You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can
All
do
right, so
whatever you want.
I've talked about this on other shows, but I'll mention it here because it's really important and you both are reeking of it. Okay, so we have an expression in my family called PF. Okay?
Okay.
And it measures the sexual quotient of things. And I mentioned it on your show after the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, you could say like, oh my God, that movie had no PF, or oh, that restaurant had no PF, or that girl's got so much PF, or that guy, he's not even attractive with so much PF. And PF stands for this factor.
Oh, I knew it. I was going to say that.
What radiates off of people? Now you two are reeking of PF. And that's why this is a sexy show. You know what I mean?
This is unbelievable.
I love it.
Mary Lou, could you, in case folks missed it, can you just so I could pull it off and use it as a clip? Can you tell the folks about that crush you have on me, just so I can logging on? The crush that you have on me, just so the folks can hear that who may have missed that part.
God, you have so much PF, That's like it radiates off.
She drinks herself. She lost her youth and she lost her joy. Now she knows her